be an INS Banker YouTube channel. I'm excited about this topic that Jack is going to speak with us about. He's gonna talk to us about collateral in comparison to all of our financial vehicles that we have access to build our wealth. And so the basic question that he's gonna answer for us is, can this type of money be used as collateral for loans? And so we're gonna turn it over to Jack.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Again, folks, we're glad you're with us. We got another very important topic. If you are interested in being an investor, or if you are an investor, or if you're a small business owner, or want to have a side hustle business, which I'm big on and recommend that you do that. It's played an important role in my life, and real estate being the biggest of all. But having a side business and a side hustle, which provides tax benefits and hopefully income and profits to you, are very, very important. And how you get into those most oftentimes is you've got collateral somewhere, or somebody loans you money without any backup guarantee, or without any collateral, which I don't recommend you ever loan money even to your family members without collateral. Now you can give them the money, and I have done that and do that, but make sure that you're giving the money and not just loaning one. I remember I loaned some money to a good friend to keep his company operating, and he just assured me and guaranteed me, and it went bad. And so thankfully I had collateral on a vehicle, a pickup truck that bailed me out, and I got even because I had that collateral. That's just one little example of it saved me, but it taught me a lesson, and I lost a friend over it, unfortunately. But don't do any lending without adequate collateral. So it is a vital thing, especially if you're in real estate. You won't get anywhere attractively unless you have collateral, and you will be begging for hard money, for high interest, 15, 20, 30% interest rates. It may still make sense to do that. It's just you've got to do a lot more profits and a lot more deals for that to make sense. I haven't had to do that. I am the lender in cases. I have been the lenders, and that's a trained skill that you can become a lender as well as a real estate investor. But I'm here to get you to thinking about real estate investing, a side business. Walk your way to the accredited investor level, and get into a zone that just a small percentage of this country gets, and you get to participate in investment vehicles that pay high rates of return because you're an accredited investor. And if you're not, you don't get to participate in those highly preferred in cases, and you just have to do your research on them. But I'm talking about 20%, 24%, those types of investments that require accredited investor status. So collateral, let's talk about it. What is collateral to you when I say that word, and many people don't even think of it as being of any importance, but I'm telling you it is. Google it if you'd like and do a deep dive into the definition of collateral. But this is something that can be used to put up for getting a loan to buy an asset that hopefully you make a profit on, and that being real estate, or that being a small business, or any number of things. It gives you a chance to make more money on somebody else's money, meaning a lender that you have pledged this collateral to guarantee them or assure them that if you fail, they still have a bailout and a payment that can be made to them and wash their loan out, which is what all they're concerned with, or primarily concerned with. 401ks and IRAs are not allowed as collateral. They're not allowed as collateral. So you need to know that. You can't buy a condo using it as collateral, for example. By the way, it reminds me, in a future video real soon, I'm going to show you our condo plan that we spent hours on the board running through the numbers and everything, and it's very, very appealing. I think you'll enjoy it, and with that will take place. How we bought with the INS Bank a condo and set it up to pay for it just like you would a mortgage, and garner all the interest that is paid in a mortgage into your own banking system. We're talking about $1.5 million of being diverted from a mortgage company over to your bank. So that'll be a future video. Brokerage accounts, no, they're not collaterable. They're not used as collateral. There is some extreme, if you certain levels and stuff, you can get some offshoot at about 70%, but normally 99% of the people are not involved with a brokerage account in any way as collateral. Your home is collateral, and you can get a HELOC on your home, as many of you, if not all of you, know that. If you've got equity in your home, you can get, usually about 80%, sometimes 70% on it. There's some deficiencies with that type of loan, HELOC, and a friend of mine had his call due when he had a bunch of real estate. It ended up putting him in bankruptcy. And he's on YouTube, by the way. It can happen. It's happened even to me. I just never got that deep into a HELOC. I used them for small purposes of paying Home Depot, paying Lowe's for rehabs. Never purchased a property out of it. I had it there to do so if I ever needed it, but I never did. I never have done it. And then recently, not too long ago, I just decided they started escalating the interest rates on it. I had always been with my collateral prime -2 for 5 years, and then prime -1 the rest of the time, and it was because of my collateral that I had. I put up one of my INS bank policies, and they love those, and they assign it and attach it and everything, so you don't have any use of it as long as it's assigned to the bank. But they will give you some benefits for that, and I did that. But when I detached it away from it, fortunately nobody saw the record in some reason, and they never changed my interest rate on my line of credit. It stayed at that until recently. They went up, and part of the reason I'm here in front of you today is because of that experience with my HELOC. And I went through it, and I'd been with them 30 years, never had been late on a single payment. And they put me through a grind of all these records and had all of that. And so I said, I've got to help the community that I'm in most, and that's the real estate investor community. And I said, they have to go through this. Where are they going? How are they going to get any money from the bank? And I didn't have to have it, but I experienced that grind, and even the threat that they could take my loan at any time. If I had $500,000 and they said, look, we're wrapping all these up. If you look in the fine print, we have a right to call your loan due, and we're doing that. So you wrap it up, sell your property, do whatever you got to do, but you need to pay this loan off in a certain amount of time. And that's a HELOC. Yes, it's available on your home, but you need to research it. It may not be, you may not want to get too deep into it and kind of be caught in a bad place when they might call it on you. A CD and savings loans are not savings are not collateral. Neither are annuities as collateral. Real estate, other real estate that you invest in, if it has equity in it, you might be able to get it used as collateral for a lender. You're going to have good friendships or something, maybe a community bank. Most of them will not do that. They're scared of the real estate investor. And anyway, they are very apprehensive about the real estate investor, and they don't want rental properties and this kind of thing. They don't do real well with real estate. If you're in real estate, you know what I'm talking about. It's not their thing. That's why we buy it at a discount from them. It usually goes down, and is a difficult thing for them to keep it up. Very expensive for them. The INS Bank is the number one collateral that I have used all of my career. My first two properties were bought from pulling from my plan, and I ran out of collateral, and I had to quit buying at that time. And but it got my first two properties. I took over two existing mortgages, paid the equity out of my INS Bank, and got into them. And then 3 years later, I bought 18 more properties in 15 months, and all of them were the similar way, came out of my INS Bank. I had stuffed all of my money from my first two into it to build my collateral up higher. And I had about a year in a small business at that time, and I'd put that money, the profit in it, in there. So I had enough money to really start buying, and I did. And it's an interesting story. I had 20 properties, and 17 of them were vacant. And a senior investor asked me, we were talking about it, I'll never forget it, and he said, how many properties do you have vacant? I said, well, I got 17, Rudy. And he said, why are you not in bankruptcy? I said, because my banking system works differently from yours. I have flexibility when I make my payments. I usually make 2 payments a year. He said, I've never heard anything like that. You're not paying every month? I said, no. I said, I don't have to. And so he didn't get it, and I didn't do a very good job at that young age of explaining it to him or demonstrating to him even. And I kind of really didn't want him to know it, to be honest with you, at that age. I hate to admit it, but it was one of the few things that I had an advantage over him with. He had far more real estate, far more wealth than I did at that age, and so. And I didn't do a good job. But I didn't press the issue either. So partly on me. So collateral is very important, and will be very important to your future, your financial future.